Welcome to Indiana Sports Beat Radio, presented by Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington.
Know your role and shut your mouth, you jabroni!
Fires upfield into the end zone. It is caught. Jelani Woods, touchdown! INDY! A 43-point night for Tyrese Halliburton.
How do you like that, partner?
Renew now, drives in low, throws up a shot. It doesn't go. Tipped up and in by Anthony Leal. Indiana takes the lead.
It's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
Now, here's your host, Jim Coyle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome aboard on this absolutely Chamber of Commerce beautiful Thursday as I am coming to you from the golf club at Eagle Pointe here at Bloomington.
Welcome to Indiana Sports.
Well, that loop is just something, man. Gotta find a way to take that thing off. But I hope you're having a great start to your day. Boy, we sure are out here at the golf course waiting for the Never Lose Hoop golf outing that's taking place here today. The Hulls family, started by J.C. Hulls. Jordan Hulls now a big part of this, a member of the IU basketball staff. There will be IU basketball players playing in this today. I know Luke Goody's got a team. Anthony Leal's got a team. Ian Stevens is out. There will be a bunch of IU football players coming out to welcome and greet players as well, in addition to other athletes. I'm not even sure of the entire list. We have a signed football from Kurt Signetti, courtesy of defensive coordinator Brian Haynes. So thank you, Brian. Appreciate you very, very much. That will be going into the silent auction. And, you know, that could be that's one of the very, very first, if not the first, signed Signetti football going out. So there you go. That makes it a little something. But it is an absolute beautiful, beautiful morning. I don't know what the low actually got down to here last night. I saw it was supposed to get to like 51, but holy moly, what in the world is going on? A full moon up there still. Can someone explain to me why there's moon? Why do you sometimes see the moon during the day? I'm not up on the galactic comings and goings of the solar system as I should be, although I watch a lot of that stuff all the time. But how's your day? Better than, well, not better than, but Mike Gundy's Oklahoma State football team is going to be wearing the QR codes on the backs of their helmets this year. So fans can use that and in a way of providing some NFL or NIL rather relief to players. I think you can hit out certain players on that deal, but that's kind of a unique, different situation. But hey, creativity is where it all comes from, right? What is the old saying? Something is the mother of all necessity is the mother of all inventions. So there you go. But we're early. The registration does not start for a little bit here, but looking forward to a wonderful day. And for those of you that aren't here, wish you were going to be. Big shout out to people like Tom Jonas, one of the sponsors, Cook Medical, Old National Bank. We appreciate each and every one of those people for being our corporate sponsors. And hopefully we'll get to talk to Jordan if we don't even know when Jordan is going to get here. So we're going to kind of take it as it comes today. I know Shannon Griffith will be joining us here in a little bit. We will talk some IU football. Chris Denari as well as I saw that the WNBA in Olympic years now, they want more time off, which is different than most other sports. But I understand that theirs is the only season that is really of essence that is interrupted. Golf doesn't really count. What about baseball? How do they do baseball with who played in the Olympics on the baseball team for America? Curiosity there. I didn't even think about that. But Tyrone says he's eating Louisville Turkey Day before Thanksgiving. There you go. Michael, how are you, sir? Yeah, it's been a while from the land of legend down there in French Lick. Appreciate having everybody on, no matter how and where you're listening. Of course, our longtime friends at 97.7, The Ref, always the right call, down the Evansville area, up in Hammond, Chicago on 12:30 a.m., 104.7 FM, the voice of the region, WJOB, and the only sports station in Fort Wayne, 1380 The Fan. Keep it tuned to all of these stations for upcoming local programming. I know the Sports Rush is on after us in Fort Wayne, and I think Brian is on in Evansville on a 97.7. So there we go. Brian says the Major League Baseball will take a break like the WNBA did. Did they do that this year? They didn't, to my knowledge, did they? So who played in the Olympics this year? I'm just curious for America. But, yeah, for Major League Baseball, that is going to taking, 3 weeks out of the summer in a league that already doesn't end until, what is the World Series now? Does it touch November? Does it hit in November, the end of the World Series? Are they going to have to start sooner? Surely they're not going to go later, one would think. Right. Oh, there was no baseball this Olympics. Oh, I did not realize. Wow. Huh. Well, that makes sense. That's why I didn't notice that. But thank you. Did not know that they didn't have it. As a matter of fact, I thought there's tons of baseball going on, no doubt, as the Little League World Series happening right now, as they're getting down to, I don't know where they're down to, like the final 4 on each side, I believe. I have not been able to watch it as I would like to. Too much going on. Bob Kravitz will be joining us today as well. Don't forget the King. He was had planned on being here with us at the outing today, but unfortunately he could not make it. And but we'll have him on the show still. Looking forward to that. Let's see. Oh, and Monday we'll be coming to you from IU's Memorial Stadium, where we're going to get a I don't know, I forget what they're calling it exactly, but basically they're showing us what a lot of the fans are going to get to experience. Well, I'm sorry about that, folks. What the fans are going to get to experience from a setting of food and all of that. But we've got to take a break. Shannon Griffith's going to join us on the backside. Brought to you by our good friends from Andy Moore Honda. Back with more right after this.
Segment is brought to you by Hoosier Hanks East.
What is that noise all of a sudden?
Is that me?
Oh, well, you know what? I bet it is.
I'm at a conference, so that's why I was asking if you wanted to go a little later.
Well, I don't
where
really.
I could get to a better.
Yeah, it's not.
Hold on.
I'm at a golf outing.
Okay, hold on here. Let me see if I can move further away. Is that better?
Yeah, I don't hear anything now.
Okay.
What's up?
No, I'm going crazy. High school football starting, everything's going.
Yeah, I saw Bryant last night. He brought the a football signed by Signetti out for the golf outing.
Yeah, they're probably getting ready to put the final touches on the camp and start working on FIU.
Yeah.
This camera's bad. I'm standing in the hallway at the Fort Wayne Tin Caps baseball field. Yeah.
That would be a good backdrop.
Well, I wish I could be outside. but this conference is in the suite level, and I don't want to disrupt it.
Gotta hear that.
We got about 1 minute.
What is the noise, you think, though?
I can't hear anything. Am I echoing?
No. It's like you're by a road or something.
Huh. It may be the air conditioning system that you're hearing. I'm all the way down at the end of the hallway.
We'll just mute you when you're not talking.
Is it still doing it now?
It's just at certain times. That's hard to explain.
Let me see if
It's 10 caps, baby.
15 seconds.
I'm
5.
This segment is brought to you by the Rusty Gator.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio on this beautiful Thursday. Appreciate you joining us as I am coming to you from the Golf Club at Eagle Pointe. Here at site of the Never Lose Hoop golf outing today. Looking forward to that. Coach Griffith joining us now, though, from another sports venue. He's actually at the home of the Tin Caps up in Fort Wayne. And some comments about Russell says, what a beautiful world-class city Fort Wayne has become with all their big sports goings-ons. And that's pretty good considering the fact that they lost the Mad Ants. But they were able to keep rolling, man. The Tin Caps, I know, a big part of Fort Wayne. High school football coming up there, and Fort Wayne Carroll among some of the top teams in the state. So a lot of happenings coming up, Coach.
Yeah, and I'm at a conference for my day job, and they brought it to the Fort Wayne Tin Caps baseball field, which is probably one of the better minor league baseball fields you'll find in the country. And on top of that, Fort Wayne's a great sports town, especially in that lower tier of development with the Tin Caps, as well as, of course, the Fort Wayne Comets, who are a very well known and respected hockey club. So fans of all of them. And yes, tomorrow night, or the Carroll Chargers take on Hamilton Southeastern, and I will be there as the color commentary on 1380 The Fan, and we'll start with the pregame show at 6 o'clock.
So you're doing play-by-play for a hockey game?
No, I said tomorrow night's Carroll versus Hamilton
okay. I
Southeastern.
missed that part. There was a piece of implement going by, and I wanted to make sure I muted that out. So I missed what you said there. Well, that's cool. Yeah, that's Who's Carroll playing? Fort Wayne Carroll?
Hamilton. Yeah, Hamilton Southeastern Royals.
Oh, wow. So that's right off the bat.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of athletes running around out there tomorrow night that are committed to Division I schools. Jimmy Sullivan, the quarterback for Fort Wayne Carroll, is a commit of Iowa. And it's going to be an interesting night of football.
He's currently a commit to Iowa. It's going to be interesting to see if Indiana has a season that a lot of us think that they're going to have, if they can flip some of this top talent that is scheduled to leave the state of Indiana and go elsewhere. I mean, I'm not expecting just magic, but if you can get it done at home, there's going to be more likelihood of people staying home instead of traveling that far out, and especially if they see that Indiana is getting on par with, say, in Iowa. Now, that's saying a lot, and I'm not talking about over the years. Iowa has been one of the most consistent programs in all of college football. So don't get me wrong there. But I was talking to someone yesterday, and I'm like going, I'm not judging Indiana this year on Indiana last year or 5 years before that or whatever. I know a lot of the fans are, and national people are, but I'm like, I'm not, because this is not that. So why would I? Just because the fans have that mindset, this current coaching staff does not. That is not what they're preaching to these players. That's, as a matter of fact, that's one of the things that I think that was a battle for Coach Cignetti and his staff, is to eradicate that mindset from any current players that are still here from last year and beyond.
Yeah, I think that you're correct with some of the in-state talent that is maybe committed elsewhere. If they can have a good showing this year and showing that the program is in the right directions, like we believe it is, it's one of those things that could ultimately catapult them into the living rooms of kids that are committed elsewhere, with a chance to flip them back to Indiana. So it remains to be seen what's going to happen there. But I think we all believe that Coach Cignetti and his staff have a plan, and they're working that plan, and they expect results. And if they get those results, then there'll be opportunities to do exactly what you said.
Absolutely. And just like Jesse here says, it's just over a week away from the season opener, and he's never been this excited for Indiana football in all of his 35 years. And I think that is the thought for a lot of people, but a lot of fans, especially if they're older fans, they're trying not to let themselves get excited. And I get that, but why not? If you don't, you're wasting that time of to being excited. Go ahead and be excited. What the worst case is, it doesn't happen. That's happened before, so just go ahead and enjoy the getting excited part, I say.
Well, absolutely. And like I said, change brings optimism and the excitement there. And then, of course, the way that Coach Cignetti has kind of stormed onto the scene at Indiana and has taken the state by storm in some respects with his way of approaching different press conferences and such. But yeah, I agree with you. Be excited. Be there to support this group of players and these seniors that are going to take the field maybe for their last time. And understand it's the first year. And while we all would like to see a great run by this ball club, let's let it play out like it does each and every week, one game at a time, and not get ahead of ourselves thinking that we're going to be already to week 6, getting ready for Nebraska, and we still haven't played FIU.
Is it Florida International? Yeah. So, yeah. Although I wonder, will Pitbull travel with Florida International on their trip up to Bloomington?
I would say that the moms and dads of Florida International will, and whatever contingent they bring from.
Now, do you know who Pitbull is?
I'm sorry?
Do you know who
Pitbull? Yep. He got the naming rights to their stadium.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if he'll travel with them.
Well, you know. Well, he may. You just never know. And yeah, I saw that a couple weeks ago that he was able to do that for a very reasonable price. And hey, it's a good way to put money into that NIL pot that we're all hearing about now. And he's got those naming rights, but more importantly, if FIU's got the money to work with different things they want to do with their athletic department, and pretty smart move by them.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised that Indiana hasn't done that. I mean, that they long ago put a tag on Assembly Hall with Simon Scott after that $40 million donation. And so I'm surprised with all that needs to change at Memorial Stadium, as far as basically needing a new press box is the biggest thing that they need. Mm-hmm. But there are tons of things that are going on that are going to be changed. You're going to miss out Monday. We're going to do the show from there, but that's because afterwards I've got to they're taking us through and showing us all the new the food items that the fans are going to have access to, and all the new game day experiences. So we'll get to see all that, and I'll bring it to everyone here on the show. But yeah, you're going to miss out, brother. I'm looking forward to the new food. You would think if they're going to show it to us, they're going to bring out the goods. They're going to make sure stuff's done right.
Well, I'll be watching the show and any video that you are able to post to get the best seat in the house on that day that I can enjoy from far away here in the northern part of Indiana.
I'll savor the food for you. Let's take a quick break. Actually, Nick, where are we on breaks? I'm kind of lost because we got started lost. But
we could go for about, honestly, 10 more minutes until another one.
Cool. We'll do that. Coach, Indiana right now, we're just over a week away from the season starting. Where are they in as far as putting things together, getting things lined up, scheme, all that?
Well, I would say right now their installation is all but in, that they wanted to get in for camp. I would imagine they're just now fine-tuning their first and second units as well as those backups. And I would probably look for them to run another scrimmage more controlled, but would be more of a dress rehearsal of what occurs on game day with this group, because they've never been through a game day with Coach Signetti. And my guess being that Coach Signetti is an A to Z guy, he's going to have something that, perhaps emulates what it's like on game day and what he expects from arrival time to how do they go for a team breakfast and things of that nature, because you want to make sure that everybody's on the same page, but you also want to get your units defined on the field as it pertains to communication, substitutions. So all the things that, are I's dotted and T's crossed when it comes to game day. So that would be my guess. I would imagine they will break camp here probably maybe Friday or Saturday and start game preparations, if they've not done already, for FIU heading into next week.
And so how long does total installation take? Is this a complete season-long process, or, is this done 3/4 of the way through the season and then you get to just work on everything? But is there a point where you ever get to stop installing and just work on what you have?
Yeah, and I would assume that the installation process is done, that they're fine-tuning what they've put in and making sure their personnel groupings are what they want to be. Anything special that they have arranged for each and every week is understood. Communication is understood with the new helmets and communication devices that the coordinators will utilize. So installation-wise, I would say they are completely done, and they're just looking forward now to getting into game week.
Well, and I mean, though, with the complete offense, how long does it take to install the complete offense? Because we know they're not going to show a lot in the first game or two, but did that installation, is it continued? Is it stopped at that point?
Yeah, I would say they've got all their base stuff in offensively and defensively that they can then grow from there for each and every week on terms of what wrinkles they will put in. But I would imagine they are well beyond that part of it since last Saturday at their last scrimmage. So this week, I would see it as a review period to go back through things that maybe they want to address before they get into game week. But I would say from a base standpoint, they've got all their basic offensive philosophy and defensive philosophy in.
Hey, Jim, you're
You're
muted
muted.
there.
I'm muted there. I didn't realize that. I would think it would take longer with the new staff and all that, but I guess that's under the KISS mantra: keep it simple, stupid. But we know that's not going to be a simple offense, though.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to walk on you there, but you got to remember they went through a lot of this in the spring. So for the guys that were there, it's been a kind of a review period and adding on top of what they already put in. But yeah, the train moves, man. You get to that second week of camp, you start putting things in pretty rapidly. And sometimes that's where your young guys start to get lost a little bit. But my guess is that they've got it, like you said, in a KISS principle. And they're not trying to fool anybody right now. So they want to make sure everybody's on the same page.
I was hoping you would expand on that while I had some noise behind me.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you want me? Well, what I was going to say is, from an offensive perspective, you're going to have all your personnel groupings, 10 personnel, 11 personnel, 12 personnel. And what I mean by that, on 11 personnel, that's one running back, one tight end. 12 personnel is one running back, two tight ends. So they're going to have all those implemented and understood. Who are those guys that are in that specific group? And also, who's the guy that backs up that guy at that group? So they may simulate an injury to get their backup in the heat of a battle. But stuff all like that has all taken place, and right now they're redefining and going back through and making sure that is specifically understood when it comes to personnel groupings, play calling. What happens if the helmet communication goes down? How are we going to communicate plays if that happens? So a lot of things that you may not think coaches think about. They think about everything that can possibly go wrong. And this is the week that they really try to hone in on those type of things. So it's a lot of stuff in a short period of time, but this is a time that they get their full attention for football for the better part of, 18 hours a day.
Absolutely. And there's a bunch of new things that are coming this year for IU football fans, from the game day experience. The Levi Restaurants is now in charge of the food, which they are kind of the premier in that business around the country. So you should see a change in that service. I think that they still tried to upgrade some of the concession stands, and they've added so much more with the ability of local flavor. Buffalo's, Avers Pizza. I can't, you've got Upland Beer, of course. I'm trying to think of everything that's being added just off the top of my head. It's a lot. Then you've got B-Town Boulevard that has been added. The walk has been changed. So they're trying to create an atmosphere, but you have to have that. You have to go along, even if you have good football. There has to be an atmosphere. And while tailgating in Indiana is okay, trust me, people, if you go to Michigan State or, heavens forbid, Michigan or a place like that, or some of these other more football known schools, the tailgating is unbelievable. But looking forward to it. Buddy, appreciate you as always.
Thank you, partner. I appreciate you. And you're right. They're creating an atmosphere that the fans should thoroughly enjoy, as well as those student body there on Bloomington's campus. Now it's time, like they say, to fill the rock.
Absolutely. Coach Griffith, appreciate you, brother. We'll see you next week.
You too, partner.
All right, buddy. Shannon Griffith joining us here on Indiana Sports Beat Radio on this beautiful Thursday. Up next, the man, Robert Kravitz from BobKravitz.com, the most informative sports outlet in the state of Indiana. Back with more right after this.
This segment is brought to you by the Rusty Gator.
How about that intro?
That was pretty impressive right there. Pretty impressive. Hey, sorry I couldn't make it this morning. I apologize.
Oh, I just missed it. You're not getting to play in this incredible weather. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, man. My game, I finally broke down and took a lesson 2 days ago because I'm playing so bad. And then I went out and played last night or yesterday, shot 102.
I'm gonna say that usually happens.
Yeah, the guy told me, he said it's gonna be a crap show for a couple of rounds. So I'll just try to keep doing what he tells me.
Exactly. I think that carries over to any sport. You know, I used to rodeo, roping steers, and I went to a school, which is in essence going to get lessons. But this is from a 6-time world champion, and his style was very different than mine. But I'm like, who am I going to listen to, me or him?
Right.
So I had to make this change, and even just roping the dummy, it's like hitting, putts. It felt weird, and I'm like, God, but I made myself stick with it. And then all of a sudden, once it clicked, it was Katie bar the door, and it was
good.
Oh, hell.
Well, I'm gonna go to the range every day and just work on it.
That's why I'm not good, is because I'm just not consistent. I can hit the ball fine, but I cannot consistently always do it. And
I'm consistent. I hit them all like crap. Right now, I can't hit anything, but
I can't hit a 3-wood to save my life.
Wow.
It's funny how that comes.
I can't hit it.
I had my best round of 9 out here the other day. Maybe ever.
Good for you.
Got about 30 seconds.
Wish they had food out here. I'm hungry.
And 10.
Segment is brought to you by Freethink Apparel.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio on this Thursday. It is a Chamber of Commerce weather day, and we are at the golf club at Eagle Pointe for the Never Lose Hoop golf outing of the Hulls family. Jordan Hulls, JC Hulls, of course, started this, and Jordan will be here when he gets out of practice, basketball practice, whatever they have going on today. And then the football players will be here. Anthony Leo's playing in this. Luke Goody's playing in this. Bob Kravitz was playing. He can't, unfortunately, and that's our loss to not get a player of your magnitude, much less of your status. So we lose on the celebrity side and the golf magnet side.
Yeah, well, as we were just discussing off the air, my game has gone completely in the dumper. I went and took a lesson 2 days ago, and I played yesterday. That was atrocious. So I'm gonna live at the range for the next 2 weeks and just hit balls till my hands bleed.
Well, that's what makes it happen, man. It's like anything. It's
hard work.
Practice does not make it perfect. It makes it permanent.
Yeah.
And that's what it has to be, permanent.
I'm trying.
All kinds of things are popping. The WNBA, I saw, on the next Olympics, they won a longer break than what they had this time. And I get that on one side because the players that are playing in the Olympics, they get no break, but it's once every 4 years. We've seen the men do this coming right out of the season and go into the Olympics.
Right.
So it's not a lot of difference to me, but
no, they get 3 weeks, right? 3 weeks is, it's enough time for Caitlin and Lexi to go to Cancun and tear it up. No, I think, you don't want to get in a position where people are no longer talking about you. They have such incredible momentum. I don't know why you would want to make the Olympic break longer, but that's not something you're going to have to worry about for 4 years. But, 3 weeks seems like a pretty good break in the middle of a season.
And then Major League Baseball, someone mentioned that they are possibly going to do the same thing when baseball comes back in 2028 for the Olympics, and that they're going to take a break, which I'm like, wow. I said 3 weeks out of a Major League Baseball season, that's going to alter things because we already have. Doesn't the World Series already touch on November now?
It does, and that's the first thing that I was thinking was it's not like you can change the schedule. It's not like you could play 13 games in 14 days. I mean, you already do, is what I'm saying. In baseball, you've already got a schedule that's just chock full of games. And it's not like you can say, well, let's, put more games into that particular time period. So, yeah, I think, they'll be playing the World Series in Cleveland or somewhere, and we'll have snow outs.
Oh, and that's another thing. You start baseball out playing in Florida in spring ball, and it ends playing with snowballs.
That's exactly right. I remember a lot of games in Denver. Granted, they didn't, like early in the season, they would get snowed out. And then it would be perfectly nice the next day, 60 degrees and sunny. It was crazy.
And Indiana doing a slew of things for football this upcoming season, which is just over a week away, Bob, a week from this Saturday, kicking it off. Will you be able to make it down to any games this year?
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to come down for the first game for sure.
Well, with 8 home games, I'm sure thinking you ought to be able to slide into one or two.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, we're all curious. I mean, there's been a lot of talking this off season, and I think it's great. I think it's great that Cignetti's got that edge, but that goes away quickly if you don't win. And God knows you look at their schedule, and I know you have, they have a chance to win, to be bowl eligible if certain things go right. So, I'm really looking forward to this season. But with 45 new guys or whatever the number is, I don't know what they got. I mean, you have a better sense of it than I do because you're down there. But I'll be really curious to see the new quarterback and some of their wideouts, some of the JMU kids who come here with such high expectations.
Well, they're getting a lot of accolades, which is surprising me. There are a lot of guys that are on lists, the Dick Butkus list and this list and that list,
right,
watch list, which doesn't mean a lot this early in the season, but just getting mentioned is a respect thing. And I've seen a number of players on those lists. Pro Football Focus has been listed a lot of these players. So they sure seem like they have restocked in a better way, but not just that, that there is a system in place, a tried and true system, which has been the complete opposite for the last 7 years. There was no offensive system because you had multiple different offensive coordinators. I mean, Kalen DeBoer had a system, obviously, and it worked well. And Nick Sheridan, it probably would have worked well as for him, but he ended up taking the blame from people like me who were wrong because it was the offensive line that I think really caused his downfall. Now,
absolutely.
And it wasn't fair to him, but he's fine. He's the offensive coordinator for Alabama now, so no one's crying for Nick, but wish him well. But I always want to say that. Hey, I will admit that. But I'm looking forward. You know what I'm most looking forward to right now?
What's that?
We have a deal on Monday where they're having the media out, which you should come down Monday. Levy's Restaurants is going to be handling all the food at services at Memorial Stadium now.
Right.
They do it at they probably do it more than anybody around the country at these different venues. My first thought is the media going to get that same food? Because that is not what we normally get.
No, we get swill.
And I'm like going, oh my, please do not bring me in. Show me this incredible food. And then show up on Saturday with some donuts and
hot dogs.
Yeah. But I'm curious. I'm going to ask that question.
That's an important question. That's the question everybody in Indiana wants answered. So you're just the man to do it.
Well, people don't realize. I mean, you're out there. A football game for me is an 8-hour day. It is by itself is an 8-hour day.
Yeah, you need some sustenance.
Exactly.
And not that awful lasagna they serve.
It's hard to pack it in your backpack.
It kind of is.
What's new with BobKravitz.com?
Well, we got the Colts tonight. Colts going to play their starters for a half. Unfortunately, Cincinnati's going to be playing at second and third and fourth stringers. So I don't know how much we're going to actually learn. Now, if they struggle against the second and third teams, then you have a reason to be a little bit concerned, I would say. But if they move the ball, then that's what they're supposed to do, especially on offense. Because again, they're going up against second, third, and fourth stringers. But it's changed. Back in the day, Peyton and Brady consistently threw 50 passes in the preseason, 40 to 50 passes. But now with these joint practices, they feel like they can get just as much work, if not more, during those joint practices than they do preseason games. But it's such a ripoff to fans. My God. I mean, nobody plays. We're going to go to 18 games and two preseason games, which, is not great for the health and welfare of the players. But if you throw enough money at them, I'm quite sure they'll agree to it.
Absolutely. You like my nice little good pullover?
I like that. It's very fashionable, especially for you.
60% off, 40% off right now in the clubhouse, baby.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
I did not know Good, which there is the Good Tour. It was a clothing manufacturer.
I did not know that either. No, It looks very fashionable on you.
Thank you, sir. I'm enjoying it, but it's keeping me warm, which
how
crazy is it for me to be wearing a quarter zip on August 22nd?
No kidding. I just went out for coffee and I'm wearing a t-shirt and or a golf shirt. I'm like, damn, it's cold out here.
Russell says I need to get a pair of skinny jeans to wear with that pullover. Well, I could get the skinny jeans, but I don't know how I'm going to get them over my not so skinny legs.
Yeah, I have the same problem.
But so the Colts, Anthony Richardson will be in action. I'm sure there's going to be some trepidation from the Colts staff and management when he takes the field.
Yeah, well, he won't run. I mean, that's the one thing I think you can be sure of is, if he runs, it'll be on a scramble, but you're not going to see any called runs for Anthony. I think they want to keep him out of harm's way and, get him to the regular season in one piece. But, I think we're going to see, the drop back game. We're going to see Jonathan Taylor, see how they work together. But, you're seeing 1/100th of the playbook. So, again, it's people read stuff into the preseason. I'm like, boys and girls, I've been doing this for 40 years. The preseason means almost nothing except to the guys at the edge of the roster, to the guys who were like Zaire Franklin, who was a 7th-round pick a couple of years ago, played on special teams and worked his way up to becoming one of the best linebackers in the league. Those are the guys for whom these games mean so much.
What are the who else are you looking forward to seeing on the offensive side?
Well, with the first team offense, I'd like to see Pierce get involved a little bit. I'd like to see how they look with a full half of Jonathan Taylor and Anthony Richardson. Keep in mind, those two guys played 2 snaps together all of last year.
That's crazy. That is a crazy stat right there.
2 of them. Look, Anthony only played 173 snaps the entire year. So I like to see him get this work, especially with Anthony, with the ball handling in the backfield. Like to see Pierce do something. And I want to see one of the tight ends emerge and make some damn plays. they got bad news with Jelani Woods, who I think will probably not make the team now that he's going to be on injured reserve. But, I need to see somebody, Kylan Granson, Will Mallory, Drew Ogletree, somebody step out and make plays as a tight end.
Where has the tight end gone in the NFL? I mean, there are some.
Kansas City.
I was going to say there are some, but there are few. I mean, when Gronk was at his peak, Gronk was Gronk, but and you've got Kelsey at KC, but not a lot of teams utilize the tight end that way. And Kansas City is one of the most successful offensive teams that there are.
Yeah, Steichen used the tight end very well when he was the offensive coordinator in Philadelphia. And in fact, and Adam Schefter reported this a couple of weeks ago, when the Colts tried to move up to number 6 in the draft, the guy they wanted was Brock Bauer, the kid from Georgia. So they know how important a quality tight end is. And right now they've got a lot of guys with different skill sets, but what you need is the guy who you can split out there and the defense has no idea whether he's going to block or go out in a route. They need to be better there, especially with Josh Downs out. Who knows what AD Mitchell is going to look like early in the season? I mean, when the lights come on, it's a different game.
I'll tell you someone who you don't have to worry about using their tight end, and that will be Indiana. I've talked about this a few times with their offense. Well, at JMU, Kurt Signetti's top 2 running backs who combined to go for over 1,000 yards only had 6 touchdowns on the year combined. His tight end alone had 6 touchdowns.
Is that right?
Yeah, so he will spread the ball out. The tight end is very much a part, and I think that's what's going to be that's going to be fun for IU fans, because when they get to the red zone, boy, it seems like in years past, again, but they're not just really being an offensive system here lately, that not only you kind of knew what they were going to do, and you kind of knew it probably wasn't going to be all that great.
Right. Well, they didn't have the offensive line. I mean, they couldn't punch it in, and you were able to lay back a little bit and play the pass. So,
which is odd for a team that claimed to be a running team.
Right. When they weren't. So,
no. Looking forward to that as well. But yeah, the Colts on tonight. Looking forward to getting that last one in the book. And then this is their last preseason game, right?
Last preseason game. Then they got a million days off. We also got the Fever going. Fever will be home. I'll probably go out to their practice today. Fever will be home on Wednesday, and so we got that. So plenty to write about here in the next couple of weeks.
It's going on, man. Well, as always, we appreciate you.
I hit him straight, Jim Coyle.
Well, I'm not going to promise that, because that's not something that happens.
Well, at least you got a nice little windbreaker there. That's pretty cool.
Tell me so in your lesson, what was the lesson about?
We're going to bore the hell out of our listeners here, but basically you've seen my swing. It's a very short backswing, very truncated. He wants me to get up to the top and hinge, like this, because I just go up like.
Yeah, no.
He wants me to hinge.
I just started doing that.
I'm trying to, man. Unfortunately, the ball goes all over the place. So we'll just keep working on it, and it'll come around.
Yep, no worries. And looking forward to it, and looking forward to you getting down to Bloomington, and looking forward to hitting the links together.
Yes, sir. Well, have fun today.
We'll do it, buddy. We appreciate you, and you go out and have a great day yourself.
All right, you too, man.
Absolutely. Bob Kravitz joining us here on Indiana Sports Beat Radio. As always, we've got lots more coming up. We've got a few minutes. Nick, I don't know. Do you have any sound available, Nick?
I'm sure we can find something. There is the we never talked about Signetti on the setback of losing Nick Kidwell.
Oh, perfect. Let's hear from Coach Signetti on losing one of their starting offensive linemen, who is now going to be replaced by multiple players, 3 different players, which I think that is a way of saying this is a competition. I don't think that 3 players will probably completely replace him as time goes on. Someone is going to have to grow into that role. You have to have someone that you can count on, and I think that will probably get down to more of a 2-man thing, but we'll see. But let's hear what Coach Signetti had to say.
Well, on a personal level, it's really hard because, Nick's been with the program really since 2019, was actually there in 18 before I got hired. And he started a lot of games, played a lot of football. He's a good player. He really put a lot of time in, rehabbing, coming back. Was rounding back into form. Was a big part of our initial plans. And I feel bad for him because I know what his goals were coming into the season. And when you've been with a player that long, because of the COVID year, you're with guys longer now. He's 24 years old. And but as I look back since 2019, we've lost an all-conference or all-American, 1 or 2 every year in camp or early in the season, and usually on the D-line or O-line, and had to overcome those, and we have. So it's a next man up mentality, and right now you got Bray Lynch, Drew Evans, and Tyler Stevens is sort of a triangle in there, 3 for 2. And they're capable, and I have confidence in them. So, we'll see what the future holds for Nick.
Coach Signetti talking about the loss of offensive lineman Nick Kidwell and how they plan on going about replacing that. And I said when I talked about this earlier in the week, I believe, that you hate to have that happen, but that happens every year with every team in virtually every sport. Injuries are just a part of it. But even basketball that has so fewer players, it stands out more when it happens on the basketball court because you've got less replacement possibilities. Football gives you the opportunity you have a lot more talent there. More importantly, this happened at a time to where they could plan for this, especially going into to game 1. They are going to have a couple of weeks to plan for that. So that is a huge factor. And it's going into the non-con game, the first non-con game, and then the second non-con game. So these guys are going to get, in essence, a month of being in that elevated position and making things go well. So look forward to that. We've got plenty coming up here on the program yet. Chris Denari is going to join us. Not sure who all we're going to have in. But once we get the peeps start showing up for the Never Lose Hoop outing, probably grab Jeff Schroeder, the club pro here, former pro up at Brickyard Crossing as well. And we'll talk to him a little bit and see what some of the things they have coming up here at the golf club at Eagle Pointe, which, again, the course is in outstanding shape. Unbelievable. And the fact that this is August 22nd and I'm wearing a quarter zip right now is blowing my mind a little bit, but that's okay. Hey, we've got plenty coming up here on Indiana Sports Beat Radio. We're back with it right after this.
This segment is brought to you by the Fresh Fork in Bloomington.
It does feel great outside. I know here in Central Indy, probably get a little toasty later afternoon. I mean, not too toasty, but about perfect. I went and played golf at Eagle Pines yesterday. Shot 95. Not too terrible for me. One of my better scores, actually. Still learning, getting into the game.
How much time?
We got about 1 minute.
Oh, that's awesome. Look at that. Damn, I'm thirsty. Well, the sun went in now.
You got the shades and it goes away.
Well, it's because there was a gap.
Oh, we got that little, yeah.
In the overhead. That looks okay, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Too bad you can't see the, except for my stupid top is reflecting off of the screen. I can't see jack. You can't see that waterfall, though, can you?
No, you are, you can right now. Kind of.
All right, so I'm blocking.
Yeah, you're blocking it.
So it needs to be over. Which way?
Yeah, I say that's good.
I guess I need to move, huh?
Other way. You're blocking it again.
Jeez.
We go back in like 5, by the way. Let me change the segment here. All right, and we are ready. 3, 2.
This segment is brought to you by the Ugly Grouper.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio on this Thursday, coming to you from the golf club at Eagle Pointe for Never Lose Hoop golf outing today. Jordan Hulls and family putting this on. This is the 11th year, and I'm proud to have been a part of it for the last 4, I think. So, close to 100 players out here today. Looking forward to that. It's going to be a blast. More importantly, raising money for area kids and their families affected by cancer. So that's the most important thing. But we will have fun doing that along the way. And there's going to be a silent auction with things like this. Kurt Signetti autographed football. I know the son's kind of taking care of that, but complete Adidas football. Next year, this stuff will be online. I wish I would have thought of it sooner to bring that suggestion up. But next year, there are things like tours of Assembly Hall, photos, signed photos. I don't even know what all is in the silent auction yet. But for those of you that aren't able to be close enough to participate, you will be able to participate in the auction next year, which is cool because I still participate in auctions that I've taken place in prior and no longer, play in the event or whatever. Every year it seems like I get something off of those auctions. So I enjoy that very, very much. The Colts on tonight. Looking forward to catching that after all these days, today's activities. A chance to see Anthony Richardson get out there and play, and playing with his crew that, like Bob said, that still amazes me that that tandem, the quarterback and running back, has only played 2 snaps together. And we're only basically a week away, a little 10 days away from the start of college football season for most of us. It starts this weekend, in actuality, with week 0, a couple of games. Georgia Tech and I forget, Florida State maybe? That is the only decent game going off memory, Nick. I can't remember who that was.
Yeah, that's right. Florida State and Georgia Tech.
Yeah, that's so Florida State ranked high. People think a lot of them. We'll see. I was thinking last night, I'm like, okay, well, we're going to find out. Georgia Tech is a bubble bowl team with the expectations of that right now. But that doesn't mean a lot because Indiana is, I don't know if they're considered a bubble bowl team. They probably are, because I think they're over and under for most nationals pundits is around 5.5. For me, it's 7. Or actually, I guess the over and under would be 6. I think they hit the over at 7 personally. That's just my take on the schedule. And not to say that 8 and 4 is out of the question. It's not. Nothing is out of the question. That's the craziest thing about talking about this season is with the schedule, again, there are probably only 2 games on that entire schedule that I think are probably out of question. Ohio State, you're definitely going to say, yeah, but who's to say that Indiana can't play with them, compete with them? I don't know. It's at the end of the year. That benefits Indiana. Of course, it gives the same benefit to Ohio State as far as being further along in their season. But Indiana, I think, needs that. A team like Indiana would need that against a higher profile team more so than the other team. Michigan, I have my doubts about. And as a matter of fact, I think I was reading in The Athletic last night, and they were projecting their 12-team playoff. Michigan was not in that 12-team playoff. They were on the outside looking in. And it's going to be interesting, and I think it's going to be fun with this 12-team playoff this year. Who's going to get in? The one thing that I don't like is automatically giving a bid to like Boise State or someone like that just because they're not in a major conference. Well, I say crap to that. What if it was any team from any conference, whether it's the SEC, Big Ten? It could be Kentucky out of the SEC. It could be Indiana out of the Big Ten. It could be Oklahoma State out of the Big 12. But one of those teams that are right on the cusp of making the college football playoffs, and they don't make it because that bid goes to a group of 5 team just because, and they're not as good. That I don't dig that. I'd rather have the 12 best teams. And I understand that teams like Boise State and Central Florida and those type of teams don't get the notoriety and don't get the respect of being as good as people think. Back when was it Scott Frost was at Central Florida, I believe, and he was just kicking butt, beat Auburn in the bowl game that year, and they didn't get that respect. And that's a team that was probably better than people thought. So it's a tough thing for me. I would not want to be, like I said, in teams like Indiana. They're going to have to fight to ever get into the college football playoffs. They're going to be one of those last couple of teams probably. Because they're in the Big Ten, which means you're always going to have 3 or 4 teams that are competing for one of those spots. And I don't know how likely the committee will be to take 4 teams out of a conference. I can see that happening, but man, that's a lot when you add that the SEC is probably going to be just as strong. Let's say you took 4 from each. Well, there's 8, and you only have 4 spots left to divide amongst everybody else. So, 3 teams is, and what will make it tough about 3 teams is the 3rd team will actually probably be the 2nd place team in the conference because they'll be playing in, say, the Big Ten championship, which means they're going to go in to the playoffs coming off of a loss. And if they've gone 10-2 during the year, which is a great season, and then they go into the Big Ten championship, now they're 10-3. You're a 3-loss team playing in the college football playoffs now. So there's a lot of things coming up that are going to be different. We'll see how that goes, but looking forward to that. Hey, Chris Denari is going to join us today as well. We get caught up on what's going on around in the world in basketball and just in his life in general. And Nick, are the cars still running over at IMS?
No sound today. Must be off doing something else, unfortunately. Or they could just be, having a late start.
Good deal. Hey, we've got lots more coming up on Indiana Sports Beat Radio. And for those of you, as we get ready to the season, Rivals, right now, you can go to thehoosier.com and get 60% off of the VIP subscription. 60% off Rivals, thehoosier.com. You want to support us, do that. I mean, get a subscription there. That supports us. That helps us as well. Back with more Indiana Sports Beat Radio right after this.
Segment is brought to you by the Ugly Grouper.
I'll be done at 10:30. Shannon's first segment was good with IU football. Bob's was good. That was Colts and Signetti. A couple of segments we could use, or clips.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean, bro?
Yep.
Man, with that breeze.
Oh, I bet it's perfect out there.
It's a little chilly with this breeze. But I'm not stuck.
Played 18 at Eagle Creek yesterday again and shot a 95.
That ain't bad. I shot a 42 on the front 9 here the other day, which was
pretty solid.
My best night ever. And I had
I've never
I had an 18
like that.
or I had 15 on 2 holes.
Oh wow.
I took a 7 and a freaking 8.
Yep.
God dang. Man. What we got back here? We got any food? They setting up?
We got about 20 seconds if you can hear me. All right, you ready?
Is it time to go?
It is time.
Let her rip, Tater Chip.
All right.
This segment is brought to you by Freethink Apparel.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio here on this Thursday. Coming to you from the golf club at Eagle Pointe, and this is the site of today's Never Lose Hoop golf outing. A couple of more things that will be going into the silent auction. Here is a signed Adidas basketball by the IU basketball team. I see Anthony Leal can read his signature. Mackenzie Mbako, read his signature. Gallo, T. Gallo, Anthony Leal. It's yep. Pretty cool looking though. Got the national champions on there and all the years and so yeah, looking forward to I'm looking forward to that silent auction, baby. I like to get some stuff. Ooh, I can palm that ball too. How about that? Yikes. Looking forward to JC Hall's joining us here as he is walking up. We're getting ready to set things up today. How's it going, man?
Good. Yeah, great day for golf. So excited about that. Got some cool stuff for auction.
I'm telling you, a couple of these basketballs, by the way, along with this football. What are some of the other things that are in silent auction?
We got a VIP basketball package. 2 tickets, signed autographed basketball from Coach Woodson. You get 2 tickets, and it's like VIP hospitality before the game, and then something after the game. I don't know if it's a locker room tour or whatever, but that's cool. And then we have signed football from Coach Sig, 2 tickets, and parking pass, and then something else with the football. So we have a football and a basketball.
You know, I didn't think of it because I'm not a quick thinker, but next year I've told everybody the next year we'll have this stuff online.
Yeah.
And everyone will be able to participate no matter where you are. But I'm like, now I'm thinking we could have did something like that. Just did it live on YouTube, baby.
We could,
because that's a hell of a prize package right there.
That's really cool. Yeah, I'm a little technology challenged, so that the whole YouTube coming up, I need to be a little bit quicker. I guess
I'm challenged in every way possible. What are you talking about? Everybody asks me what's my handicap in golf. It's every club in my bag, man.
Yeah.
But
one other cool item that we got that was donated by Ed Warm, who owns shows in Weed Street, is this 4-day, 4-ticket package to his Windy City Smokeout, which I didn't really know anything about until this year. And it's one of the largest outdoor concerts where he's got like top bill country music, and it's food, drinks, and it's a 4-day pass for 4 people. Like this year they had Thomas Rhett, Luke Combs, Terry Underwood, Luke Bryan. I mean he brings them in, and it's July, and they basically shut down the United Center parking lot and build this monstrous stage. Anyway, it's a very good. It's like an $800 value package, and he's a big IU supporter, and he's just become a big fan of Never Lose Hoop.
Former manager for Bill Mallory, right?
Former football manager for Bill Mallory. Yeah.
Also, you're telling me he's the president of the ACM?
He's the
Academy of Country Music?
Something, yeah. He is a very humble guy. Didn't want to tell me any of that. And he said, yeah, I just kind of work with some country music singers. Yeah. I said, really? He said, yeah, like Eric Church.
Can you tell the story that you told
yesterday? Can't tell that story. Yeah,
Can't tell that one?
I probably should not tell that story.
It's not a bad one. It's just funny, and
ends up being a very good story. But probably should not share that.
Led to what's going on today. So there's that. But, man, we're looking nice, and we look like a couple Easter eggs, baby.
Yeah, I look like a golfer, which I'm not, but at least I like to look the part.
That's me, man. That's me. But number of players. Is there more players this year? I think?
Oh yeah, we almost doubled the number of players. We're at 87 or 90 golfers, which is great, right? Because it's all about generating money for the fund, right? And assisting kids with cancer, and so.
And you started this 11 years ago. How long after your bout with cancer?
It was a year after. You know, it was really it was interesting because Coach Crean at the time and the basketball staff just said, well, we need to do something to help you guys. And so we did this it was called the Halls Foundation at that time. And it was a revenue generator. And I mean, it was a great event, and a lot of IU basketball guys were involved back then. And that's kind of what kickstarted it. And we did it that 1 year. And then I just went back to my family and said, well, wow. Something that generous to us, we need to give back. Let's create something. And we came up with Never Lose Hoop, which is kind of a play on, Never Lose Hope. And
right.
With us being basketball wackos.
Perfect. That's a great name.
Yeah. And then we partnered with Community Foundation and made it a non-for-profit 501c3 organization, which has been great. And just this last year, after 10 years of outings, because this is really the only thing we do. We do one thing a year to raise this money. We give away 2 families each year get something, which is kind of cool because we went from 1 to 2. And then the fund finally became endowed last year, which is really cool to know that there's always going to be funds there for people going forward.
And that took a lot of work to get that thing endowed.
Yeah.
But that, like you just said, that secures the future.
Yeah. Yeah. And we want to grow it, right? Right now we give away 2. The goal is to give away 4 of these awards, if you will. I mean, I look at it as like a mini Make-A-Wish. The one rule is you can't use it on any medical bill. It has to be something for fun. And I thought that was just a big deal when I was dealing with my cancer. And my kids just wanted to see 1 day of normal or 2 days of normal. Can we just do something normal? And I thought, wow, that seems so simple, but it's a big deal. Yep. And in fact, this last year's recipient, the father passed away. And for those that are staying around for the dinner, they'll get to hear this story. And he passed away, but the one dying wish that he had was he wanted his wife and his boys to go to Hawaii. That was like a family trip that they always wanted. And so the fund was able to provide them, not all of it, but covered a large portion of the trip. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Too bad that Indiana wasn't playing in the Maui Classic, man. I'm like, I was just looking at that because the Maui bracket pairings just came out yesterday, as a matter of fact. And I'm like thinking, okay, the last time Indiana was in it, was that when it was canceled?
No, it was like the year before. And the only reason I know is because we went to it. That was Troy Williams, Yogi, that team.
Oh, but I mean, the last year Indiana was supposed to be in it, I think.
Oh, was
got canceled or something
because of COVID? I thought they moved it.
Well, they did, but did they not? Was it played in 2019? I guess it was.
I think it was. They just moved it to somewhere on the East Coast.
Well, they played it in North Carolina in 20 and 21, I think.
Oh, okay.
But I'm trying to think when it seemed to me that the last time Indiana was scheduled to play in it, and they're not in next year's bracket.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, well, it's got to be 26.
Yeah, that'd be exciting.
So
we love Maui.
I've never been, so you can pack me in your suitcase, baby. Well, ironically, and the Maui Invitational is put on and owned by Kemper Sports, who manages Eagle Pointe along with several other golf courses around. They own both of the Fuzzy Zeller courses in southern Indiana as well. So a little irony there, but I'm sure you do. We love Maui.
Yeah,
probably have a residence over there, man. You're a native Hawaiian.
Yeah, not at that level. But yeah, we do love to go.
Jordan is going to be able to make it out at some point today, I think.
He is. Yeah, he actually is hoping to play. They've got a meeting this morning, and but after that meeting, he's planning on coming down because he's been a key part in this thing and growing it.
Palm that ball.
I can. Yeah. Don't be touching the signatures.
Right? That's why I'm on the backside. I couldn't palm it on the front. It's slick. It's too slick. I can't get it. That's why I was this ball. I'm like, I'm like, I couldn't throw this ball if you wanted me to because it's, well, you can barely grip it, but little Signetti ball there.
Yeah, I like that. That's nice.
He needs to work on the signature.
Yeah, that signature, we need to get a little bit fancier.
Yeah, but that's doesn't strike me as being unsignetti. He's like, I don't care about signatures.
Yeah. Let's go IU and let's win.
Yeah, I was laughing here. I'm like, all right, how many of these can I actually read? There's McKenzie and Baco, I know. And I know that I saw Gallo, so I could tell Gallo someplace. There's Gallo. And Anthony Leo is easy.
A lot of times you got to look at the number. Right?
I know, but that's cheating.
Yeah.
That's just
Ballo,
an initial.
Did you find Ballo? Did you say you found Ballo?
No, I don't.
He's on there somewhere.
What number is he?
That ain't right there. Wow, that's fancy. Number 11? I have no idea who number 11 is.
That is a nice looking. I don't know what all he's got going. Yeah. But see, he also has it. Mine is. There's too much going on in mine. It takes too long. But, man, this is going to be a blast today. And what is going on with this weather? This is mind-boggling. The fact that I'm wearing this quarter zip is because it was chilly.
Yeah, 60 degrees or something like that this morning when I got up, and I thought, wow, this is going to be – I think last year, was it not? We dodged the bullet. They said rain, but we didn't have rain. It was a great day.
I'm always thinking heat.
Oh.
That always scares me, but
right now it's going to be beautiful.
Basketball season coming up should be exciting. They've got not an entirely new team. Louisville has an entirely new team, but 13 players Louisville has, new players. 13. That's the maximum on the roster, people, of scholarship players. So they have a complete new team. Indiana, several, but they brought in several good pieces. How's Jordan enjoying? This is what his third season?
This will be his third season, yeah. No, every year he learns a little bit more and he enjoys it more and he kind of getting more comfortable and his role changes. And he loves the film breakdown piece and getting out on the court and working out with the guys, which now they can do. And so added that extra coach or two. So loves working with Calvert, with those guys on skill development. They got, I mean, it's a great staff. There's no egos there, which makes it huge, right, for a new guy coming into it.
It can't be bad when you've got one of the greatest all-time three-point shooters on the staff and the all-time leading scorer in the Big Ten on the staff. Got some capability there.
Yeah, it's funny, and the players still don't think the little white guy can shoot. They like to challenge him. I think it's funny. He said, okay, well, let's just go shoot a little bit.
Oh,
and even though he hadn't played in, 2 or 3 years, he can still shoot. And I think they just kind of look at it like, wow, okay. And then Calvert will say, you may want to look his name up. Or, he'll bust their chops.
Yeah.
You may want
to check his record book. He's probably in the top 5 all time.
At IU?
Yeah.
For sure at IU.
Yeah. And it was blistered it over in Germany and in Europe. But yeah, as a matter of fact, he was at the top of his game when he left.
Yeah.
Then he was just MVP like the year before.
Yeah. He was MVP of the FIBA Europe Cup, and then his team made it to the Final Four his last year there with Leipzig. And yeah, he was really, if it wouldn't have been for IU, he'd still be over there playing. But, it's that, it's like drinking the Kool-Aid, right? He has been a kid that's grown up with Indiana basketball, and it was always his dream to play here, which he got to live out that dream, and never thought that he would ever come back on a coaching capacity. And so it's been great, and it's great having this kid back.
And if you look at it, you've got 3 generations, different generations with Mike Woodson, and he played for Bob Knight, of course, but that was in the late 70s, 1980. And then you've got Calvert Chaney, who was in the early 90s with Bob Knight. Then you have Jordan, who was with Tom Crean, although his grandfather coached with Bob Knight. Yeah. So it's still this unique combination of the years of IU basketball and bringing that together, which is kind of, they had gotten away from that during the Miller era. There was not a lot of IU togetherness there, yeah. And this is kind of a way of bringing that back together. Seems like.
Yeah, and I think they've done a great job. You've got the old IU roots, and it's so funny, even though he played for Coach Crean for those 4 years, he knew IU basketball history and the importance of what it meant in the state of Indiana. And that's what he wanted to be a part of. Like, that was one of his main reasons of coming to IU versus going to the other places. Because he thought, well, I want to make it like it was when Coach Knight was here. Right? That. And it's still, the fan base it's just unbelievable. The IU fan base. He'd be overseas, and he'd look up in the stands, and there'd be people in candy stripes. And it didn't matter where he was playing. They knew. And I just was amazed at how they would follow. Like, what? You're following a guy that played years ago. He's in Europe, and yet you still find it's just like you're at an IU home game.
Yep.
You got all your red and white on.
That's the one thing about Indiana fans, especially IU basketball fans. They don't go away.
Yeah, they don't.
Well, we're looking forward to a great day out here today. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, I may be playing with both your sons. Mitchell couldn't make it, so Jordan can slide right in.
Slide in with yours, okay.
But yeah, it'll be fun no matter what. 3 chances to win, 1 shot to win $10,000 on a hole-in-one, 2 $5,000 hole-in-one shots. Closest to the pin, long drive contest, of course. But yeah, the silent auction, I can't wait to get this online for the people because there's so much great stuff that don't really get an opportunity to get a shot at. And so we'll change all that for you next year and make it happen.
That'd be good.
Or you could just be here and join us.
That's true. We'd love that.
JC Holmes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, buddy.
Thank you for everything you do.
Oh, you bet, man. It's proud to be a part of it. It's my honor and my privilege. I'm glad to be. We've got more coming up here from the golf club at Eagle Pointe. We're back with it right after this.
This segment is brought to you by Freethink Apparel.
Well, all right. Those are good looking. I got to get me some new shoes. How much time, Nicholas?
Let's see. We got 1 minute.
Okay, good.
Hi, Nick.
Howdy. How are you doing?
How you doing?
I'm fantastic.
What's going on?
Nothing too much. Just got a bunch of yapping dogs in my ear right now.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you have 4 dogs.
Yeah, they're ready to go outside and get kicking. Yeah, you're paying attention.
I watch.
Yeah.
Hey, I've loved watching your evolution.
I appreciate
it. Really appreciate how that growth.
Slowly but surely getting there. Jim, did you ever hear from Chris Denari by any chance?
No, unless he told me last week something. If he did, I don't remember, but that's okay. Because this is our last segment anyway, right?
Yep. And we got about 10 seconds. And 5,
3,
This segment,
This segment is brought to you by Bubba's 33 in Clarksville.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio here on this Thursday. It's an incredible Thursday, Chamber of Commerce weather. We are out at the golf club at Eagle Pointe for the Never Lose Hoop golf outing. All kinds of items that'll be in the silent auction, signed basketballs, footballs from IU, a couple signed basketballs, all kinds of things you heard JC talking about. And there's a $10,000 hole-in-one contest, like I mentioned as well. Tom Jonas, for the Jonas brothers, live here at the point. There's three of them. Where are the other two Jonas brothers, by the way?
Just two of us.
Well, I know, but I count Tom. I count John.
Oh, well.
Just because it doesn't make sense. If
John's at work in South Bend, and Bill's at a deposition up in Gary.
Well, damn. But doesn't matter. We've got you here. Not only is Tom a great guy, great supporter, great IU fan, he is sponsoring the $10,000 hole-in-one, by the way, and he's also a survivor. So he's not only participating, he's working to give back, man. So first of all, appreciate you. I know this has been that was a difficult time for you and your family.
It was, but I'm gonna tell your listeners a little secret. This guy is a great guy. He supports this thing. When I was sick, and it was during COVID, and I was in the hospital up at the University of Michigan, I could have no visitors. And as I'm sitting there, laying there, I get a call, and it's a 517 area code. And I'm like, well, who the heck is calling me from a 517 area code? And I answer it. Oh, this is Dave Fight. I'm like, wow. Yeah, I heard you're a big Hoosier fan, and a good buddy of mine, Jim Coyle, asked me to give you a call. I thought, well, that's great. I mean, how uplifting is that? So another couple days go by, and my phone rings. It's a 317 area code. And I answer the phone. It goes, Pod Lyric called. Same thing. Jim Coyle set up the call. And a few more days go by, and Kirk Haston calls me. And it was just Jim and I had known each other maybe a year at that point. But the whole point of this conversation is this guy actually walks the talk. He does things for people without getting any kind of accolades or anything. And when this opportunity came up, I couldn't sign up quickly enough to be a whole sponsor. So this is an appreciation for everything you've done, Jim.
Well, I appreciate that.
Plus, it can combine our friendship with my love of Indiana basketball, which goes back to the Curry and Hoosier Lou Watson days. And it's just been awesome.
Well, I appreciate those words beyond comprehension and did not expect that. And
I know you didn't.
Did not. I can't ruin my reputation, man.
Well, I'm gonna take it a different way.
Jerk and being a hard ass and being all those things.
You're still on that. You're still on that. But we'll start talking about sports.
But
and if things turn a little south with the football team, you'll revert right back to.
No, because then I'll be defending my honor at that point.
You'll be really south.
Yes.
Hey, I will tell you that this is all about giving back to the people that helped me. And I've got a foursome that is playing. I'm not playing today because still as part of my recovery, I'm still not seeing the best. And it's not fun to play golf when you can't see your shot. But
see, for me, I think it would be the opposite. If I could not see my shot, it would be a lot better.
Well,
unfortunately, I am seeing a lot of my shots and where they're going. But,
and my playing partners all say, "Oh, we'll watch your ball." We'll watch. It's anyway. But all of these guys, who I've known from 57 years ago to 46 years ago. Are on the team, and they all came before COVID and visited me in the hospital, and this is a way to give back to them.
Well, you're certainly doing an incredible job, and we're so thankful for you. First of all, for you being here. He lives in Michigan, by the way. He doesn't live in Bloomington. So we came down here just for this. So thank you for that, because that's a deal in and of itself. That's how far of a drive?
4 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's not terrible. How's the new 69? How's that help that last bit?
Helps out a lot. I'll tell you what, if we're not filling the rock this fall, the people in Indy need to be kicked in the keister.
Well, there's a lot of excitement for football. I try to always be middle of the road, but it's hard to not be excited for this team, because to be able to cover a successful football program would just be a blast. Anytime you cover a winner, it's more fun. People are happier. I mean, it's a lot more fun. I don't want things to be bad. Trust me. It's a lot better for me. Business is much better when things are going well, but I'm looking forward to going out to the Rose Bowl and watching Indiana take on UCLA and not only have a chance, but I think in my mind, they're going to be the favorite in that game. They may not be according to Vegas, but we shall see.
Well, the Sharps don't always know, do they?
Most of the time, though. That's the thing. They usually catch on, but I
we'll
think
see
that they're
how the
waiting.
line, we'll see what happens if the line changes. We have 2 games prior to that. And if they do what I think they're going to do, that line will change.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
no question. Now, are you planning on coming to any football games this year?
I've got season tickets.
Man, that's a lot of trips, man.
It is.
Will you be able to stay over on any of the back-to-back home games?
Not through the week, no. But and I'm going to miss a couple. I'll miss the Maryland game because up at our campground, that's early trick or treat. I like to stay married.
Exactly. Now, originally from the Indianapolis area, right?
Right. Broad Ripple High School. I graduated with Mike Whitson.
That, folks. And
from Broad Ripple, and we were down here at IU at the same time. So
that had to be a fun time to be in college.
Well, I was a sports
especially
editor.
when you know, so you were also.
I was a sports editor for a high school paper.
As your brother also was for the IDS here, right? He worked for the IDS?
Yep. He and Tom Brew together, and Phil Tapman and Kravitz and all those guys were together.
Bob was supposed to be here today. He was just on with us. He was not able to make it out, unfortunately. Big golfer.
Yep.
Just took his first lesson and his score just plummeted.
I was hoping to see Bob. Last time I saw him, we had dinner at Mother Bear's. So
Brian says his wife is a Broad Ripple Rocket.
Hey, Brian, congrats to her. We have no school anymore.
Yeah. Well, didn't they redo that or something?
It's all condos now.
Oh well, that'd be something great to order up. But man, yeah, there's going to be a lot of great stuff.
I'll go back to an earlier conversation you had about Shortridge. When they reopened Shortridge, that spelled the death knell for Broad Ripple.
Okay.
And they were able to sell it because in Broad Ripple, the property values are so high. I don't know what the IPS got for that, but
I saw that Shortridge had made it to the state championship game in '68 against East Chicago or one of those teams of that era. So a former great program went away. Now they're coming back. So that's very cool. High school football starting this week. Looking forward to that. There's so much excitement going on, and I'm ready, man. We've got this event today, which is kind of the last hurrah, although I've got an event to play in on Saturday, the Peggy Sherrill Memorial outing down in southern Indiana at Valley View Golf Course in Floyd's Knobs. So I'm looking forward to that. And that'll be the last.
Kitch has his outing for Parkinson's next Tuesday.
Kit does?
Kitchell.
Ted
Kitchell's
I
outing
saw
is
him.
next Tuesday.
I haven't even said this.
Greenwood.
I need to look into that. I should have hooked up with him and I could have promoted that for him. I saw him at Prince Lick when I was down there a couple of weeks ago for the Corn Ferry Tour Media Day.
Yeah.
He was in having lunch on the last day I was there with Brendan Sweeney and Dave Harner, the golf operations director there. So,
Oh, by the way, Brendan, if you're listening, the directional schools in Illinois will not beat Indiana.
yeah.
And if you want to,
he's a big fan. You know, it's where he went to school, so he's supporter. Brendan's a big supporter.
he went to
Eastern Illinois.
Eastern, yeah. And his wife went here.
Great guy, super great guy. All those people down at Prince Lake are awesome. And Ted Kitchell, that's awesome. Hope that event goes well. I'll have to maybe reach out to him and see if we can do anything there. But man, once football starts, that goes to 6 days a week automatic for us, and then basketball is only 6 weeks after that.
Yep.
And soccer and all that stuff. So
I think the website, if I remember what Kenzie and Ted said, was swingforparkinsons.com, I think is the website for that. If folks in the Indy area want to get involved, Bella Vista is a nice course. So
I'll pull that up and see about that, and so we can shoot that out tomorrow and get that on there.
Now that we've got the field set for this one, we can promote that one. But
absolutely, anything that we can help. And Bob Kravitz, he has one for ALS. His has already occurred early in the season, and a good friend of mine I know that I just recently found out he suffers from ALS. So all these good causes, and the fact that you can go out and have a blast and contribute, that there can't be anything better. And the camaraderie, I'm looking forward to seeing faces here today. I'm looking forward to seeing faces on Saturday. Yours is one of those. I'm grateful to see, and so happy that you're a part of this, and got to be a part of it.
It's great to be seen and not viewed. That's number one. Number two, if you're at home and listening and have access to a computer, feel free to go to the Hoop for Life or Never Lose Hoop website, where you can donate. You may not be able to be here, but if you can donate, I'm fortunate that I've had, before I got cancer, I had 59 years to develop a community and friends who all supported me. These are for young people and their families who don't have those communities built. So if you have the opportunity to get on, and if it's $5 or $10, even if it's $1, who cares? It's going to help, and it's going to go to a great cause, supporting the families and the people who are supporting these young children. Being a survivor, I cannot tell you how much that means to a person to have that. And with a young family going through the financial, emotional, physical, all the stress involved with that, especially if it's your kid. And if you think about it, if it was your kid, you would want other people to help out. So that's the last of my pitch. But yeah,
there's nothing for me to add to that. I mean,
the Never Lose Hoop website, there's a way to go there and donate. And
events.golfstatus.com. 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 Just go there and search Never. It'll pop right up and take you right to where you want to go.
Do it in honor of somebody that and everybody's had somebody affected by cancer in their life. Do it in their honor.
Absolutely, buddy. I appreciate you and everything you've done. Not only is he sponsoring the $10,000 hole-in-one, he's giving $100 away to the closest to that 10, and he also helped bring other people in and other things in as well to this. So he has been a big part of this year. Not only has he fought his own battle, but he is helping. He wanted to talk about others. He should be talking about himself. Thank you so much for all that you do.
It's, I do this in my business too. It's just an opportunity to give back, helping people into their Medicare world and all that stuff.
And what is the name of your business, brother?
TJ American Retirement Services. We're an affiliate of American Senior Benefits.
Now, is that only out of Michigan or
no? We're all over. And quite frankly, up in Fort Wayne, we've got an office who I'm hopefully going to help get some advertising dollars for the Fort Wayne market.
That would be awesome. There's Big J Hulls. One of my partners today. You better be ready. Go ahead and loosen up. Got Jordan holes.
Is that the 19th hole where you loosen up?
For me, it starts at hole 0, man. I mean, loosen up in every way. I'm afraid I may pull some fat, hit something the wrong way. But yeah, it's always a blast getting to do this. I look forward to the dinner afterwards and getting to just see all the faces. And there's going to be a lot of IU athletes here, and just have fun with people, and all the while know that you're doing something very, very beneficial.
You made a really good suggestion about getting this silent auction online next year. I hope they're able to do that.
Oh, that's already in the works.
Okay.
I thought of it too late was the problem. I remember, I think I thought of it last year and just forgot again. But I thought of it too late this year, and I hate that because I love going on to auctions. There are golf events that I've played in that I still get sent the silent auction stuff. I'm always bidding. There's always something that I'm like, yeah, put me in, baby.
You got to stop killing those brain cells down here by the pool.
I have not seen a pool this year.
You haven't been down to the tiki bar?
I've not been to the pool. There's a pool where I reside. I don't even know how to get into that damn thing, much less have gone to it. But
Jim, thank you so much
thank
for your support for all the years.
No, you, buddy.
Love you like a brother.
Love you, buddy.
That.
Thank
and,
you.
Again, go to the website and donate.
Next year, the Jonas Brothers. Tell me, all got to come down. We'll have a big fun. Big time.
We'll try and make that happen. Tried to make it happen this year, but
I wonder if maybe I'd be afraid to schedule this thing closer to a football game. That would be
that'd be
too much. Too much.
Keeping your eyes on that for me.
Absolutely. But it's been a fun day, and it's going to be even funner day out here today. And I'm looking forward to. I want to play well, not win, but I want to play well.
Well, another quick blurb. Tomorrow night, the soccer team opens up their season at home against St. Louis.
And they were just picked by the media to
win
the Big Ten to get now.
Number 7 in the nation.
Did they not win it 2 years in a row already?
Yeah.
So they're going for a three-peat.
Yep. Well, I don't know if it's 3 years in a row. I don't know if
it must not be because I've not seen that mentioned anywhere. And I know
State,
they won it.
They did win last year. I think Penn State might have won 2 years ago. So
I'm just anytime that Indiana does not win the Big Ten title, I'm shocked.
Well,
I'm not saying it in a bad way. That's the level of greatness that Todd has continued that program with. And anybody that thinks that he was handed something, he is one of my favorite coaches to talk to listen to. I'm talking about, of course, Todd Yeagley, the head coach for IU soccer. I love how he attacks a game, how he listens to, how he views a match. That's why great coaching matters.
I'll tell you what, the IU athletic department has some really good coaches working in the system. Him and Merce and Terry and Shannon
Stanton,
softball coach, doing a great job. Volleyball coming way up.
Angel Escobedo, wrestling had them ranked last year. Like you said, volleyball, same. Jay Halls, jump in here as well.
Ray.
Jay Halls.
Hey, Jay, go ahead and have a seat, buddy.
Everybody. No,
go ahead and have a seat.
we only have a few minutes anyway. We're about out of here. This is the brother, older brother of Jordan Halls. He says he looks younger. We don't know.
No, I never claim that. I'm definitely the older guy in the fam now.
I do know that between you and Jordan, you can field a basketball team.
That's true. Yeah.
6 boys and 2 girls.
Yeah.
He pays attention to everything that's ever said on
That's true. I got 2.
He's got her 2.
Yeah. I have 4 kids. Jordy's 4, and then Kayla's got 2. So.
Oh yeah.
We'll have a lot. We'll have a lot of kids to coach here coming up.
Got some great items here to give away, or not give away, but for the silent auction today. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to some fun time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good football.
We got to get him work on his signature. That's kind of weak. But
All right, we'll have to get him out here to play one of these years. I know he's probably pretty busy this time.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing about with football. The players, there's going to be several players out here today to welcome and help greet people.
Yeah.
Would love to have them play. Love to have some of the coaches play. Brian Haynes, defensive coordinator, was kind enough to get this for us. Brian is great. Love their staff. So excited about football this year.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm jacked. I really am.
Yeah,
And I try not to get that way. Oh, dude, I'm just saying, it is so much more fun covering a winner and when everybody else is having fun. But what a great event this is as well, the Never Lose Hoop outing. You're down from Indianapolis as well, but there are people like Tom who is participating. He's a survivor, but he also came down from Michigan for this thing, man.
Well, we certainly appreciate everybody's support and your support in helping this thing grow over the years. I know everybody's so busy, and I'm taking the time to market it a little bit. So.
I'm going to say this in memoriam to Coach Knight. I want to thank him for bringing your dad into the fold and making him and your dad for staying as a permanent part of the Bloomington community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Been an absolute plus to the community, your family.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that very much.
That is true. Coach Knight brought in your grandfather on his first staff.
From West Point to Bloomington.
I'll tell you, I had a story that when years ago when Jordy was a senior in high school in his AAU, he played a really great game against John Wall.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a good buddy that was a Kentucky fan. And he and I would go back and forth, and I said, "You just wait till college. Jordy's going to show that John Wall what's what."
Tell you what, John was a player, but those Indiana elite teams faced off. Indiana always seemed to
Jordy was
not only edge him out, they blew him out.
Jordy was a great player, one of my all-time favorites.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, he's a good kid.
We're going to see what he can do on the golf course today because he's going to make it out in time to play, and he's going to be on our team as
okay,
well.
me and him, and we got a fourth.
Gotcha. Yeah, so we're going to have fun and see it. And again, thanks to Tom Jonas. Man, thank you so much for all that you're doing and all that you've done and will do because I know that you keep going on. Well, of course, JC was with us earlier. Now we've got Jay and Jordan will be here soon. But we're back tomorrow. We'll probably try to capture some of this stuff today and bring you some clips tomorrow from some of these athletes that'll be out here. So looking forward to that. Big thanks to Bob Kravitz, Coach Shannon Griffith for joining us on the program today as well. Most importantly, each and every one of you guys, we appreciate you. Like Tom said, go to events.golfstatus.com, event.golfstatus.com, events.golfstatus.com. Search Never Lose Hoop, and you can donate and participate in that way. And next year, all this stuff is going to be online for you to bid on, and you can get some great stuff because there's some great prizes, man. But big thanks to Nick for keeping us between the white lines as always as well. We're back tomorrow to do it again, and then Monday coming to you from the Indiana Football Memorial Stadium as we'll be out there finding out what all the new treats are going to be for everybody. Until tomorrow, I'm Jim Coyle. I will see you on the radio.
Thanks for listening to Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page for more clips and team coverage of Indiana basketball, football, and more. You can also find full episodes and tons of other content on thehoosier.com. We'll see you next time for another edition of Indiana Sports Beat Radio.